Alright. Welcome to the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Randomizer. This is an open world randomizer in the spirit of Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, if you're a little bit more familiar with that one that's been out a little longer and is quite a bit better known and more popular at the moment. I have shown this off at a couple of marathons. I am not the fastest runner of this by any means. It was recently showcased at SGDQ by 4 excellent runners who all got marvelous times, but if none of the many multitude of runners better than me are offering this, I figured I would at the very least show it off and offer, because this is one of the most fun things I've been playing over the past 2-ish years now since I discovered it. So the title card I led with explains it in basic detail. Although open world, there is a system for character gating that we use based on the tracker here. Shows it all pretty well. Different characters that you gain give access to checks, and that is what you use to follow a kind of path in order to get the necessary requirements. I am also combining this run with my performance in the league I'm in the Ultros League, in my division of Tonic B for the league. So this is performing double duty in that fashion. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So we're starting with Edgar, Locke, and Strago. They have randomized stats and abilities. Strago starts with Sword Tech. He's normally pretty awful, but Sword Tech is great, while Locke has super awesome speed and tools. Edgar has Morph, which I don't use or value nearly as much as I should, I think. So I need to be on the lookout for acquiring some tools. Otherwise, this gives me access to some early game fighting capability, which is kind of nice. I can buy an early chainsaw. I'd rather have a drill, but it's something. Get a few of those with the little bit of starting money you get. So these are the current popular racing settings of Ultros League. You start with 3 characters. And though although the title card said, the little intro card I used said that bosses' enemies are scaled down, that isn't technically correct. They're scaled, period. So, based on the number of characters you get, number of espers you collect, and dragons that you defeat. Each one in these basic settings adding about 2 levels to difficulty. So at the start, we are level 3, which is the level that Terra starts with in the vanilla game, and our enemies are level 6. So we need some sort of way of defending ourselves or dealing damage to the first couple of bosses. Now, normally in Final Fantasy VI, bosses do not grant experience, but as the runners, the creators figured out with other Final Fantasy randomizers like 4 and Final Fantasy 1 and some others probably too, having bosses grant experience greatly speeds up progression in the randomizer, makes it so you don't have to find battles to grind a lot of the time. Especially with the experience multiplier they've given here and the fact that experience is not divided amongst our characters. This means that once we start getting... a Bile Blaster is actually a good tool to grab for now. Once we start battling a few bosses, our experience gets on a curve that generally would do us well to the end of the game, especially if we get our hands on an early experience egg. Now, at the start of the game, I'm wandering around looting a bunch of chests in South Figaro. Obviously, the items in chests, including little hidden areas in towns like this, are randomized. So we're hoping for some big-ticket items. A 20,000 gold piece chest is certainly valuable. Look in shops to see if there's anything particularly valuable to buy. Again, tools are something that in this setup we definitely want to keep an eye out for. I have 2 mid-grade tools. The best ones to have would be Flash, Auto Crossbow, and Drill. Chainsaw is more powerful than Drill, just flat out, but it also has a 1 in 4 chance of missing most bosses because bosses are immune to instant death. So that's something that we need to keep in mind. But it also means that we can do solid damage early on. We haven't found anything particularly noteworthy. I'm going to go ahead and take a safety save here and see if sword tech and early tools are enough to get me through a couple of random battles for some starter experience. Because again, all the enemies are level 6, so if we get an endgame boss even scaled down to level 6, they're going to be pretty punishing. Yeah, as I thought, all the best stuff we can't use either. Almost none of that matters. Normally stuff like crystal mail I'd rather just sell, but at the very least it's oh man. I was actually hoping that that instant kill would be helpful at this point. Ceratops are moderately beefy, so I'm probably making a mistake by taking this fight, period. As I say, I'm not one of the best runners of this game, period. Can't use tools with imp status, so I did buy a few remedies. It might be worth it to use one. Okay, we've got one killed. One of the things I'm especially bad at is just simply knowing what early fights to... Are you kidding me? Early fights to take and early fights to ignore. I sometimes put too much of a priority of trying to get experience from early fights like this rather than seeing, okay, this is going to be slow and then taking it. And then when it starts to get obviously slow like this, I'll stubbornly try to push through it because I've already wasted enough time. Now, these guys appear to be immune to Doom. I don't know for certain because it's not something that I use often enough, but I think they're also immune to poison or absorb it. Decent amount of experience anyway. And some green cherries, so we don't have to worry about that anymore now. Still, these fights aren't the best kind, so that's probably more than enough. Although it was slow, it did give me a lot of experience, so being level 8 will be a whole lot better for the first boss than level 3. Levels are actually where you get most of your damage in the game as well. Chainsaw is already capable of doing decent endgame damage once we're high enough level for it, as in 3,000 to 4,000 or more, depending on what level we get. But we'd prefer to have more damage than that, but it's good enough for now. And I actually really like Atlas Armlet. You can use the Blizzard Orb too, so... Now, the most powerful spell in the game, Ultima, is considered too powerful, so it's generally turned off in most competitive settings, including the Ultros League. So the actual most powerful spell we can get our hands on is Murtaugh. However, Murtaugh has a drawback of doing really big damage to the party as well. So one of the things that we're kind of on the lookout for often in a seed, just in case we get Murtaugh, because it's one of the quickest ways to get really high damage, endgame worthy damage, is items that we can equip that will make us immune to Murtaugh. Murtaugh does both fire and wind, and as long as we are immune to or absorb one of those, we will be safe from Murtaugh. Elixirs, we get from remedies for cheap. I shouldn't have bought everything in South Figaro since I already had regular... Oh, you're already very nice. Because all those things I quickly just threw money at, I could get for even cheaper now here. Unfortunately, no more tools. Again, I'm okay with the tools I've got, but I'd very, very much like to upgrade to drill and auto crossbow, and probably flash as well. So this is an example shown off even in the title card too, specifically with Edgar. Since I have Edgar, that was normally where you would first meet him in the World of Balance in the vanilla game. So it is a check that he gates. We come in and we get an instant. Which is a Tritalk here, Imp Spell, amusingly, and there is Murtaugh. So I mentioned that because I have a Blizzard Orb, which is normally an item only usable by Umaro, and when he has it equipped, he will sometimes use a Blizzard attack called Storm, an ice attack that hits all enemies and is magical. However, there is another hidden feature on it, and that is that, oh, actually it's right there. The hidden feature is that both the Rage Ring and the Blizzard Orb, two relics normally equipable only by Umaro, are both, that's very much paying off now, they both provide elemental resistances. Specifically, the Rage Ring absorbs fire, and the Blizzard Orb nullifies fire. So, and I mentioned that again because this gives access to Murtaugh immunity. So, because again, all the characters can equip their vanilla equipment, you know, all the things they could normally equip in the game, but in addition, they also have the ability to equip a certain random amount of other items. Basically, every item in the game rolls a % chance for each character who couldn't normally equip it, and if it, you know, hits the random assortment, then they can actually equip that. And that includes espers, like ones that are normally unique to Umaro. So, Strago can equip the Blizzard Orb, and that would make him immune to Drive Meat is necessary for a quest. Otherwise, I'm not finding Debilitator is not a tool I need, unfortunately. The other wonderful thing we found are 2 ice shields. So we theoretically have 3 people immune to Murtaugh now already. We're not going to have the mana to cast the spell for a little while, but at the very least we do have that. We're 3 of 4 as well, so we only need to find 1 more over the course of the game. All 3 of us can use Mega Sats, we'll go for that. Mega Sats are +5 magic. Knowing the specific stat values, or at least some of them, are very valuable in the game. If you've watched a speedrun of vanilla Final Fantasy VI, they make use of weaker but stat-intensive items, pieces of equipment, often throughout the game, in order to get us higher stats so we do more damage. So this is a pretty decent start. Now, Locke gives us access to the World of Ruin Narsh. We can unlock all of the... We don't actually need him in the party, just need him as a character. And that gives us access to all of the all of the buildings in town. Somebody will open it. Locke will commonly do the unlocking himself, a second chainsaw. Well, I can sell that. But it actually goes to whoever is the first character in the character list, not your actual first person. Ooh, I forgot to save before this. Hugs as well. Doing this at all was a mistake. There is a chance that they drop one of the best pieces of armor, though not that we're guaranteed to be able to use it. Each of them has a chance of dropping Minerva. You can also steal the Minerva from them. But unlike every other monster in a box, it is not guaranteed. Big danger here is that we won't guarantee to get Minerva, and even if we get it, it may not be guaranteed to that any of us can wear it, since it's normally available only to Terra and Celis. But okay, we are getting through this fight. Pugs make it all the way to the end. Of course, these Tonberries, as they will later be translated as, will insta-kill with their knives. Should have chainsawed the last one. But I know it's almost dead, so... Okay. It at least helped us learn our spells, but no Minerva, so unfortunately a little bit of a waste of time there. Especially since it didn't even grant experience or anything of the sort, but... Having these on would have helped the battle as well. Is a slight problem that when I'm focusing more on doing commentary and things, I go on autopilot for a few things and forget stuff like safety saving before that chest just in case. There is a Minerva. Rainbow Brush, Aegis Shield, Fixed Dice. Okay, there is a large collection of useful items. Next to the Elemental Shields and the Paladin Shield, which we'll be looking at in a bit here, Aegis Shield's one of the better ones in the game. Actually, I'm doing this one too, since I want to go ahead and teach him Ice now. Because there may be several instances where it is extremely valuable. Default Clock Elixir, that's amusing. Doesn't actually happen, but that's vanilla. Isn't very often. Okay, the main reason we're here is to check the weapons shop, where the old man has the Ragnarok Stone in vanilla, and he could turn it into the Ragnarok Sword. Similarly, it gives us a chance of two different things, possibly an esper. Nope, just two items, an Aura Lance or Marvel Shoes. I'm going to go ahead and take the Aura Lance because it's a really powerful weapon that Edgar I know can use. A decent stat stick, some of the highest attack power in the game. If I get Dragoon Boots and a Dragon Horn, I can also do some powerful jump damage with that. Now we'll check the Cursed Shield, especially since we have some fight-intensive checks, and it's going to be a relatively low number. So I'll probably... Ooh, 10 is kind of high, though. So I'd like to get my hands on a relic that makes me immune to confusion, or a heal rod. Either would make this a whole lot better. So I need to look for a peace ring, perhaps. Or just deal with it. Okay. Maybe I'll get lucky and get either a peace ring or a ribbon in town here. We can always see. A paladin shield would therefore become a fourth guaranteed source of immunity to fire, which would make Merton a easy ability. Okay, darn. Running shoes are kind of nice. Now I can get normally you can't ever get the second weapon, but there is a way to do it here in Worlds Collide. But I will need to get Terra for that to be able to happen. Right now, until I get some spells, Edgar's going to be pretty subpar. Which is why I decided to go ahead and put the, if I get Realm, Cathood. That's an investment if you get it early enough, since Cathood doubles the amount of gold you earn from battles. If any of my characters could equip it, I would have sold anything I needed to and to be able to actually... I'm going to go ahead and take one more safety save. I haven't grabbed all these things. Because this could be a really awful check. Burning House is generally a... less preferred because it's long and has lots of fights. I like some of the checks with some required fights early in the game because they can give you a bunch of that, the possibility at least of getting some of that early experience you need. Interestingly, you can do Burning House from either World of Balance or World of Ruin. Fortis are kind of rough, but luckily I do have some damaging abilities. And I bought some potions that I can use after combat to keep us topped off. Probably ought to go ahead and chainsaw. Yeah, even the instant death auto kills. You need to make sure to raise Edgar. Two instant deaths. Got lucky there. Excellent, much quicker fight. Even damaging chainsaw one-shots these guys, so... really good experience on these battles, so I'm, and a lot of money too, so this is giving me appreciable rewards, although it's going a little bit slower than a lot of the good racers would like. This is one of the reasons why I'm, as a racer / speedrunner of the randomizer, I'm very much lower tier, because I do like to take safety things like this that make me stronger. Burning House, though, is pretty infamous for being one of the least preferred checks. I'm not getting the instant deaths, but they're finally visible. Forgot to heal up Edgar, and actually Strago as well. Warpstone. Luckily, Snowball is only a percentage-based attack, and we're with our ice shields, we're immune to the fireball. Let's see. I have access to Quadra Slam now, but I believe that. Finally knocked himself out. Yeah, very tough. Fortresses have huge amounts of armor, so they will probably take very little damage from Quadra Slam. Dispatch is actually a magical attack that ignores defenses, so even though it's relatively weak, it does decent enough damage, especially against heavily armored foes. And luckily, because enemies scale based on good insta-kill there. We are going to be doing a lot of these fights a little bit more quickly since enemy scale based on the, again, characters, espers, and dragons rather than our level, so we are out-leveling them right now. 2 dispatches and a chainsaw, I think, are enough to kill a Fortis at this point. Yep. This is, of course, a rule with this. I wish I could get some more of the other fight, which was rewarding, among other things, 9,000 gold. Oh, and missed. Okay, here are my last potions. Warpstone. Can anybody use some of these items I got? I have to look at them. Rainbow Brush, Edgar, but he already has that. Fixed Dice, Edgar again, so that's something to do later. Let's see. He has the Atlas Armor, which I shouldn't have had on him because that means he's hitting himself worse. What is I wanted to check out if I can do? Can he cannot. That's too bad. So I need to swap back later after I'm done with this shield, but We'll also see what other characters I get. Lovely. Good news is, the ice shields make us immune to several elements. One of the reasons I was messing with the relics, I was actually kind of looking at this and other blizzard attacks or fire attacks, and was hoping that I could equip the blizzard orb on Edgar. Glad for that, actually. Gives us some healing. I have 3 elixirs if I really get desperate. And that's fine. Just as long as I get him up before, that's actually fine too. I'm not using spells, they wouldn't do me much good. Okay, Edgar did not get either the Cursed Shield bonus or the, experience, which is a bit unfortunate, but alright, now there's a lot of people different ideas of how to route the game. Again, my routing generally isn't best because I do for convenience for myself or peace of mind, getting safety things and such. But one of the things that is convenient is that another check of Stragos besides the Burning House, which again, it's a bit odd, you can do it in both World of Balance or World of Ruin, even though it's a World of Balance check. But one of the, if I get the save room again, I think I'll safety save because I can't remember if I did or not. But next we have the Hedon Cave here, which is kind of useless. In most speedruns you'll never see it because it doesn't give an appreciable reward. But because there's a boss at the end of it, they went ahead and attached it to Strago and gave a reward for it. You have to collect 22 pieces of coral from these regenerating treasure chests and then feed it to the hungry treasure chest. Yeah, I did save outside. I'd forgotten. I often save out of habit, but often when I think that I have safety save, because obviously I always do. I don't know if I have... Nope, I don't have enough coral yet. That's unfortunate. This is one of my least favorite checks to do. I like it a lot less than the Burning House, because yes, it technically isn't as long, and there aren't any fights in it, as long as you have a Moogle Charm equipped, which, again, you may have noticed Moogle Charms anyone can equip, and they are... put 3 of them in your inventory so you can give them to all your teams, so you don't have to take random battles unless you want to. A nice little quality of life thing, which can be disabled, but it's how we play the game by default. No, I'm pretty certain I had more than 22, so... Just getting terrible, terrible luck here. So, out of desperation I went, but I think you actually have to have the 22 all at once. You can't do bits at a time, which is really insane. So, since these teleporters take you to random rooms, it's slow, it's annoying. There's a literal empty room, as well as the room that only has the save point, and the entrance, and the room with the chest. And it's all totally random. You're getting close, finally. A piece of coral. You get either 1, 2, 3, or 5. I think. Maybe 2 is an option, but I'm pretty sure I've gotten 2. Okay, I think that's enough. I'm not keeping count very well. There we go. So very annoying check. Atmorphin, okay. Not as bad as I thought it could be. Though I can't obviously do that. I'm going to check Dispatch versus Quadraslam, or Ice 2 versus Quadraslam, and see which does more damage at the moment. 1200, that's really good. He does have earrings and a decent magic power with Magis hat, so... Yeah, Ice 2 is actually a lot better at the moment. He should have less HP than Magimaster had, because he's a much earlier boss. There we go. One of the nice things about getting Magimaster is that it gives you a Mega Elixir, which is extremely useful, if nothing else, for the final fight with Kefka. Since he starts out, the very final Kefka starts out the battle by casting Fallen One on your party. If you have a Mega Elixir, you either buy in a shop or get from Magimaster or find it in a chest somewhere, you can go ahead and throw that on. I didn't even check these things, unfortunately. Reflect and Slow. Slow would have been useful in that fight, though. Electric Bio. Yeah, that's all pretty good. Alright, we still haven't found another character, though, and we're starting to run out of good places that we can go. Haven't found any healing yet, so I ought to pick up more potions. If I was efficient, I would go and buy them from Figaro, but... well, I can't buy them here anyway, maybe I'll just go. Unfortunately, it's pretty lengthy to go to Figaro. Since you have to land outside the desert, then go through several rooms to reach the shops. But it might be worth it before I take on this next check, because again, I have no real healing. Just an unfortunate circumstance. A few more of those. Fine with everything else. Well, I have 3 more checks that I can do before things start to get into pretty annoying territory. I can already tell from how I handled the beginning of this, though, this is going to be one of my slower seeds. So, the Cave to South Figaro is a place you go through several times over the course of the game. And you go through the back way in the World of Ruin, coming from South Figaro with Locke and Silas during the Locke scenario. Oh, this is Mount Colt, so I went the wrong one. Didn't think I'd gone that far east. Oh, way far east. Okay, this is the Cave to South Figaro. Or in this case, Cave to Figaro if you're coming from this way. And you fight the Tunnel Armor, which in your casual play is supposed to be your tutorial for Silas's runic skill. In the speedrun, it's a tutorial for using a Thunder Rod to one-shot an enemy and showing how busted rods are, especially when you literally bust them. the randomizer, you have to exit from the back. This recovery spring still works, which is convenient. I forgot all about that. Flame Eater, very convenient. I am totally fine with this. Our two important characters are once again totally immune to anything Flame Eater does, or almost everything Flame Eater does. He has a couple of non-elemental attacks, I believe. He's also super vulnerable to our ice magic. And voila! All of those battles I took have put me up to a level where all of the boss fights are going to be going pretty darn fast. And now I should be approaching the last of my battles as well. Gogo, fourth character, okay. Actually, he's the one that has it. We'll just do him. Oh, that's not quite a good idea, but oh well. We'll make it work. I don't think it'll count, but it shouldn't matter. I'm gonna be safe. So Doomgaze exists with the same properties as normal. There's a way to force the encounter if you have Setzer, so that you don't have to go searching for the esper he might hold in the normal fashion. So it's a little bit safer to travel around. If you're worried about the fight, which I would be with the guy with the cursed shield, that would be game over essentially. It's safe to travel in first. And actually, I should have done a character without a Moogle Charm and then put on the second one, but whatever. Kind of a second guessing my own thoughts about that, which I do sometimes. So Gogo gives access to the Zone Eater dungeon where normally you would recruit him, and he gets engulfed right off the bat, so it doesn't matter. I don't think that that counts as one of the 10 battles, which is a little bit unfortunate, but oh well. Now I throw on Moogle Charm so I don't have to worry about encounters, and like the Hedon Cave, this is another RNG annoying dungeon. Not particularly dangerous. It's very rare that he's able to get me even if he's close, that one. I like taking one fall so I can get these items. The cave is a little bit annoying because in the vanilla game, this is one of the endgame dungeons, so it has endgame gear in it, which is really awesome. In the randomizer, it has no better chance of getting endgame stuff than anywhere else, so it's a little bit annoying. Flame Saber and Blizzard, which is the Blizzard Sword, the elemental equivalent, ice equivalent of Flame Saber. And now we're at the mercy of this troll right here. Oh, God. Almost had space there. I generally have decent luck with them. I've heard some people say that they've wasted up to 15 minutes with these guys. There was a demonstration of it right there. Oh, no. Ow. That's the hardest place to get through, though, so now I have all the chests. And that was a chocobo suit, which is actually pretty good. Not in here, though. Yes, I can't wear anything with the leather armor. Crystal Mail went to lock, which I guess is okay, but see, oftentimes you can actually, if you're moving fast enough, you can actually get right there. And come on, you were there, you were there, you were there. And we're free. Okay. RNG segment down. Now it's just a slightly annoying part. I safety save here because I'm very bad and sometimes allow myself to get killed. Only like once out of every 20 or 50 runs or so by just overrunning in places, but, you know, you never want it to be the time and have to do the bridge and everything over again. And can we glitch? Not quite. There's like a Thunder Shield here, and a few other really worthwhile. I think a Red Jacket, which is a piece of armor that Edgar can wear that absorbs fire, or negates fire at least, so that's pretty valuable since fire attacks are common, and especially, once again, that means that you can absorb or nullify Murtaugh and be able to use it in combat. And Murder Child Realm. Awesome. Okay, she has natural magic as well. Her speed's a little low, but her magic power is actually above normal, and she has GP rain, which is decent. So, now the question is, I actually do want to keep Strago because of sword tech. Gogo can be valuable, but also he can be... His stats are kind of a little on the low side and you can't do anything with them, so that's a little, that's what holds him back for the most part. Plus his equipment is kind of limited. Rainbow Brush is just about her best, and actually... Wizard Orb for now, because magic is just about more powerful. What natural magic does she have access to? Fire Drain, Cure, and Ant God is all right now. Natural magic tends not to give good stuff until, like, very high levels. I'd be perfectly fine with running into Doomgaze. How he's called here. Once you have 5 characters, you can do the Phoenix Cave. You can do it with less, you could do it with 2. Especially since there's an optional boss fight with a dragon. So there are a lot of people who love to do it early and just ignore the dragon. I always like to fight dragons when you have them, though, because they're worth a lot of magic points, they're worth a lot of experience, and they can give very valuable items. You've learned that, so yeah, that's fine. Oops. If you fully intend to do that, you can take this a little bit quicker, because then you can have everybody run on the spikes and it doesn't matter. But the chest over there is accessible by him. Now, in the normal speedrun, there are only, I think, 2 chests that have something in them. The very last chest with the dragon horn. Another Aegis Shield is nice. Although it's actually a little bit superfluous now with what I'm going to have. And then there's, like, one of the very last chests actually has a ribbon in it, I believe. I don't remember quite for certain because I usually ignore most of them in vanilla. Speaking of, that solves some things for us too. Now, we can go ahead and throw the Cursed Shield on. I need to go the other way first. We can throw that on Edgar, and he will be able to act even with the Cursed Shield on, so he can contribute. Quite nice. Ouch, we took some damage. Might as well step on that, need to do that. So yeah, I like only doing this check and another check that requires multi-party after I've gotten 5 characters, so I have my complete party of 4 for the boss fight. The dragon fight, specifically. The other check has a required boss battle and a lot more, so Kefket Narsh is the other one. It's one that's also very much preferred to have a group of 5 party members. Because they don't let you field an empty party, you have to use both. And it's especially necessary in this one because because of all the switches and stuff, it's required to have 2 parties. I believe this is the chest that normally has the ribbon in it. And it's the only... And then this one right here behind the dragon has the... Got to step on the switch. Okay, let's get dragon. First off, we can ribbon. Oh, we need to keep the curse shield on. Haha, default red dragon, which again, not mad at. 3 of us are immune to his attacks. I've got some money. Oh, I can go buy that cat hood now, too. I maybe ought to do that. Since Realm is the default user of the cat hood. Cat hood halves all, or the main elemental damage, not all. Snow muffler, okay. Silk robe. Anybody use the snow muffler in this party? Not normally. Oh yeah, Minerva can't be used by anyone. Yeah, very unfortunate. Locke and Edgar can both use that. That's kind of nice. Yeah, sure. Do some defense. Okay, we're still waiting to uncurse the shield, but we should be really close now. So if a character is as a reward, at the point where you would see a character, it'll give it to you. Otherwise, it's going to be a random NPC type. They have imps, soldiers, merchants, and ghosts as the 4 types that can do that. Okay, so... Doesn't matter. Actually, yeah. I want to go buy Cat Hood first. I don't know how many more extra battles I'm going to get into, but actually I think I'll start with G-Door. Even though that's a slightly slower check, it should give me the last couple of battles I need to get rid of the curse here. And hopefully they'll be high money battles, and I'll get lots of money from them. With El Cat Hood. Okay, Striker, don't need. Man-Eater is almost worth selling too. Strato and Aura are actually worth selling. Okay, that's enough. Let's see. Actually, I should go ahead and throw that on for now. And just have him fight with his fixed dice because they will do decent damage. And his stats are lowered with the Curse Shield anyway. Slightly faster to go around the world. I usually don't remember to properly use the world screen wrap of this very odd, not actually round world. What do they call it again? A rhombus? The weird shape that it would have to be to... Not a rhombus, something else. White Dress is actually pretty decent with its +5 magic, even though it doesn't provide a lot of protection. But Tabby Suit and Chocobo Suit already give good stats. Sniper is actually a good attack weapon as well. I don't like it as much as a lot of other people do. A lot of people swear by it as one of the single best fight weapons in the game because it does its own kinds of critical hits quite often, which are very useful. But I just generally prefer normal fighting or offering fighting with certain weapons that can really break the damage cap, like fixed dice. Oh yes, I wanted to put a new weapon on the lock. Let's see. You can use the magical brush. I'd rather have the assassin. Bonuses to speed and magic. It's a decent little stat stick. Which is what they in the community call weapons that you equip essentially just for the bonus stats they give. A Lobo. Very glad to have this be one of the useless fights. Very, very fast. Our shield should uncurse here in a matter of moments. There we go, that was it. Last curse. So now he's gone from being severely debilitated to being almost invincible. I'd really like to find Katana Soul and or get my hand on an offering now. Ooh, Doom Dragons. Let's see. We should be immune to this now. I don't know if they are or not, but I think that they are vulnerable to it. Yep. There we go. $18K gold, so that was a pretty valuable fight. Now I need to find a shop somewhere that sells some ridiculously powerful equipment. Oh, I need to give you the Aegis Shield. Tirado is the one that really matters now. Having life 3 is protection against a lot of things, but especially tier 3 of Kefka. Alright, not a character. There's a term in the community for checks that are peekable. Technically, especially as far as I'm concerned, peekable checks are only ones that you can pretty much back out of or reset out of before you do any of the dungeon. There are some that technically will tell you the reward before you have to go through the fight, which is what the full definition of peekable is, but ones that are truly peekable technically this one's kind of sort of peekable, because if you see it's not a character, you can duck out. I shouldn't be throwing away money, but whatever. Just trying to get through this fight. The good news is you don't really waste time on this fight, because it's a random, go ahead, throw ice at us. We love ice. Oh my. Yeah, that's why fixed dice are good. Occasionally you get a high roll and it just murders everything. If you combine it with offering, it gives you 4 rolls, and offering does not have its damage, unlike every other weapon in the game. And defense means nothing, it's just whatever you roll on the dice times your level, with a few other extra factors that increase its power even more, but yeah, really an RNG fest, but it can RNG really high. Oh, Ragnarok, awesome. Okay, unfortunately it's a dead check, but I am super happy to have a Ragnarok for multiple reasons. But unfortunately that does mean that we're starting to really lag behind. About an hour, most of your good runners will already be in Kefka's Tower. Depending on the sea, randomizer gonna rando, but that's a pretty common sight there. Okay, so we have access to 2 different elements at least. We know he's not going to be here, so I need to heal before I go taking on a place like this, though. Let's go ahead and do Esper Mountain first. One of the nice things about the World of Balance airship is that it has that slightly out of the way, but always less out of the way than most of the World of Ruin, free heal. You don't need it a whole lot, but it is definitely good to have when you're using a lot of mana on powerful spells like Merton or Ultima. So this is a truly peekable check. We will see a person running around and we'll be able to tell if it's a character or, in this case, not a character. After this, the only things we're going to have left that we can even do are Figaro Castle and Ancient Castle, and the Magimaster Tower. Okay, well, no experience from this. Let's see how many Mertons it'll take to bring out Chupon. Only 1. And then we ice to Chupon, and this battle's over. Unfortunately, because he sneezes us out of combat, it's the only boss fight, true boss fight, that doesn't give us any XP. I need to throw a Earrings on Realm. With her high magic power, she's the most valuable spellcaster in the group. Another Minerva, too. Another dead check, my word, so many dead checks. Couple of out-of-the-way chests left, which I like to grab. Again, one of the problems I have is being too much of a what's in the box explorer. Always hoping to find another Illumina or something else. I'm actually really good on equipment, though. The fact that I'm Merton immune and chugging Merton this still early-ish into a seed. Not technically halfway done with the requirement. About halfway done with the required amount of things. You need to collect at least 12 more, and I have only collected 5, so technically less than half if you go by that. Although it should be going a lot quicker now. Safety bit. Vinci brush. Okay, so pretty much useless items. It was not worth it doing these extra chests, but you never know. Okay, we do have access to magic, so I'm going to go ahead and do the Cultist Tower. Before I do Edgar's checks, those will be last. The rules still apply to this dungeon as they do in vanilla. You can only use magic or items. I got to, what do I have in the way of mana restoration? Ether, tincture. I have some elixirs, one tincture, one ether, that's it. Oh well. So again, no character, so I'm going to be hoping for, well, yeah, Kefka and Narsha is still a rough place to have a final character, but another memento ring. I haven't looked at her relics at all, though, as I was thinking about that. I don't have another... Speaking of which, though, I found a gem box and I forgot all about it. Let's make up for your speed, and let's give you the earrings. Actually, let's give you running shoes, too. You don't need ribbon anymore, either, if I have something better, though I really don't now, so we'll keep it. Another dragon here. The dragon I always want to see is actually Dirt Dragon, because he drops a Magus Rod guaranteed. +7 magic and some good magic evade too, which is always nice. Not as good as in vanilla, of course, because the evasion bug has been fixed. Most of the regular bugs of the game are fixed by default in the randomizer, which is nice. So your evasion items actually give evasion. You can't make yourself invincible by stacking up magic evade. Ice Dragon is the least one I wanted to see. But at least I can kill it. And very easily, too. Yeah, one shot. Since it is weak to fire. Thunder Shield, okay. That'll give us access to bolt spells now. As well as a little bit more immunity. And that also means that I can take off the Blizzard Orb and replace it with a more convenient relic. Atlas Armlet isn't going to do me a lot of good here, but once I get up high enough level to start using Quadra Slice, the Atlas Armlet will help out. Unfortunately, because Drago has low vigor, his Quadra Slice isn't going to be as good, but because of one of the other randomizer, you may have noticed, randomizer quality of life changes, Sword Tech ticks up at incredibly high speeds. Another Ice Shield, okay, so that we can just use or throw away, as it were. But because of the it ticks up at a much higher speed, so it's a lot more useful. And most especially, if you're powerful enough, it doesn't matter that as much as I thought it did back when I used to play a lot longer seeds and got a lot higher level, but if you reach the point where you're starting to hit the damage barrier, attacks that multi-hit like Quadra Slice are better because they will allow you to forego that the damage barrier. If you can do like 2,600 on 4 hits, that's more than 10,000 damage. He's also weak to fire, so the double Murton hits should kill him pretty quickly. I forgot to swap the important esper onto somebody else. Have you done Tirado yet? Yes, you did. You stopped at Muddle, but whoops, didn't get Muddle finished. I thought that, yeah. You finished Muddle? Yes, you did. Okay, so that's fine. Muddle's actually kind of important, mostly because of Katana Soul, which would be really nice to find right now because I do have Offering. Or, I mean, I have Fixed Dice, so Offering would... I should have put the Aura Lance on Edgar for this dungeon, but oh well. Didn't really need the +3 magic for more damage that much. Everything was weak to fire, so we just Murtoned our way through. But, again, Offering is incredibly powerful when compared with the Fixed Dice, if a little slow because the animation is long, and very random, but you can potentially do 20, 30, 40,000 damage in a turn almost with, if you get 4 good rolls. And are pretty well guaranteed to, well, not guaranteed even, so we have a decent chance of doing at least 5,000 or 6,000 damage once you're past the 30s. Katana Soul is a very dangerous enemy, but he's vulnerable to Muddle, especially since most of the time when if you Muddle him, he will use Slayer Edge on himself to insta-kill himself, so having a Muddle for that would be good, but we haven't had access to too many monsters in a box. Although we'll get a few going to the next check, which is going to be the Ancient Cave and such. Alright, so we finally have another Esper, which is good. Doom. Who's viable? How much money do I have? 30k is all? I have a lot of stuff I can sell. Let's see how cheap it is. Just a behemoth suit, which is super awesome armor, but unfortunately, again, a dead check. So, by my tracker, the little imp lying on the ground is how many checks I have done. These are anything, including the dragons, so 2 dragons would reduce it because dragons will never give espers or... Oh, hey, we got the battle. And it's Larry, Curly, and Mo. How unfortunate. I say unfortunate because, well, first of all, I haven't restored my mana yet, so you need to elixir yourself right off the bat. Second of all, I don't have a single target fire spell. Okay, so he has 8,600 hit points left. That's going to 2-shot him, so... And they're immune to several elements, so Murton is pretty much useless. Oh, now we can heal him. Nice. Of course, we all absorb ice, so we're fine. Maybe not anymore? Yeah, because we took off the Blizzard Orb, but that's fine. I can't remember what Bio does to him. I actually should switch to other things now. No. Of course it did. Once you kill one of the brothers, Larry has a chance to run away, so it's best to kill him last. Siren. Good, that gives us a mute for tier 2. And it gives Bolt 3. Hey, hallelujah. Okay, let's start learning that. Warp as well, which is kind of nice. I have stuff so it doesn't matter that much to me, but everything else doesn't really matter. I also really need Doom. I should give it to somebody else, though. also need to heal. Fastest way is probably to swap back to World of Balance. Since I'm relying so heavily on magic right now. Okay, well suddenly I'm more than halfway through espers now. So the normal requirements for Ultros League, the competitive settings I'm using, are 6 characters and 9 espers. Oops. So I only need 1 more character. Who I also need very badly just so I can open up more checks, because I am just about out of all possible checks. There are a couple of checks in the middle here that are... the very bottom row of the black in the middle is checks that are universal. You don't need any specific character for them. As you can see, I've done the Doomgaze fight on accident, so that counts as 1. And I visited the Zen Thief. Now, once again, the 15 by the imps are the amount of checks I've actually done. Those are, you know, the checks for that rewards either a major item, an esper, or a character. However, in those, I have only gotten only 7 that actually rewarded me a character esper. No character here. I might have to do Kefka at Narsh, which at least I have 5 characters for it, but it's really, I only have one other chance of it not being now at this point, because the only thing I have left to do that can reward a character is, after this one, is the underground castle, the ancient castle. But so there's been a lot of dead checks, and even if you take away 2 of them for being dragons, because dragons will never be characters or espers, they're only bonus items. Part of the reason for that is to make up for the fact that the Crusader Esper normally requires you to defeat all 8 dragons. In this, they instead take that away and put it somewhere else in the collection of random places. Second fixed dice, okay. Rage Ring, wow, the other Yumaro elemental ring. And that the way one is empty. I hate empty chests so much. But so we only found 7 out of our 13 checks that should have rewarded us with progression, a character or an esper, only gave us items instead, which are referred to in the community as dead checks, because it might be something nice, like a Ragnarok, but it doesn't actually help you in the grand scheme of things. I missed that shit, so I think it's probably just as good. Targeted is better. Probably should have done bio. I don't think he's immune to poison. Pretty certain he's not. But he goes down really fast because he has a lot more hit points than he would normally because of scaling, but he doesn't have that many hit points. Scaling only matters so much for all this. Okay, that gave me Stunner. Marvel another dead check. And Marble Shoes, again, are very, very nice. I love Marble Shoes, but they are not any kind of progression. Heal Rod, that would have been nice to have earlier. Heal Rod is actually one of the things I really like to have when you are when you're trying to uncurse the cursed shield and you don't have a ribbon. Because they only attack the party. Well, you can actually get your healing done in the early levels if you find a heal rod and somebody who can use it and throw the cursed shield on them. They'll just keep attacking and healing the party instead of damaging them. And now we want to go to Kullingen, and we need to make sure to say to stop and look around. There is another little quality of life feature added that the first time after bumping into the castle you tell them, nah, keep going, you'll actually go back to Kullingen. It saves time if you remember to say stop and explore, because it's an only good once. Just in case for whatever reason you want to use the castle to go to Kohlingen, I guess. They don't have it regular. Okay, fire rods are nice. As I kind of was talking a little bit about before, you get a lot of damage with them. Coronet is another pretty good realm-only helm. Spectre. There are 2 monster in a box chances for Katana Soul. Right now I'm actually looking at hoping it's default, as it were. The vanilla. Golly, his magic power is bad. 600 was all? He probably resists ice too. He's not immune to it, but likely does resist. Could also run away from those, but I just have a natural anti-runaway policy. I will rarely make use of that. I often hardly even think about it. I think if it's a forced battle, you probably shouldn't be able to run away, but most of these encounters you actually can run away from. Seven out of 14 actual checks have been dead so far. This is just such an incredible example of very bad luck. Okay, what do we got? Telstar. I like Telstar, gives access to an okay clone at least. What am I saying? An okay helm. Green Beret, I think, is underestimated a little. It's better than some of your endgame helmets like Genji Helmet, because Genji Helmet doesn't give any stats whatsoever. Green Beret at least gives some extra hit points and some evasion. Of course, I already have Magus hats on everybody to increase their magic power, so not actually all that good in these circumstances. Air Anchor would be okay if I didn't already have Doom spell available. Not a lot of good items from these chests. Okay, another dragon. Again, Dirt Dragon would be my friend. And it is a character Mog. Awesome. Which at least will give us... Sure, why not? So White Dragon is vulnerable to mute, which is fabulous. I'm just not used to dragons having these few hit points. There are settings where you can make the dragons more dangerous by not having them scale. They're actually incredibly powerful. Scaling on normal competitive difficulty caps at Aegis Shield. Okay, pretty much useless shield at this point. Who's got Thunder Shield now? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I need to make sure these two are on other characters. So 3. Doom. 3. We still got Figaro on. Let's give you HP plus 100. That's pretty good. HP plus 2 because I don't have much else to do. Alright, let's collect the Mog and get out of here. Hilariously, we are going to have to get a 7th character at least, Capture. Basic competitive rules increase the chance of getting something good, and so Capture has its uses. There are actually some pretty interesting items you can steal from some enemies. including a Mega Elixir from Final Kefka. So if a character with Steel is in your final party, even if you never found one, never fought Magimaster, you can get a Mega Elixir to cure the fallen one by just having a thief steal it. Hopefully with Steel rather than Capture, because Capture can be counterattacked against, and Kefka could just kill you with that, but, you know, it's an option. Something that some of us have done before in our runs. I'm very bad at these door transitions that you're supposed to go the opposite direction coming out. Now, Continue Journey this first time will take us all the way back to this desert instead, which saves us time of having to complete the trip as you would have to do in vanilla. So one of the other quality of life things you may have noticed is that the airship tends to follow you. Even if you go through a dungeon that has 2 exits or entrances and you go in one and out the other, it teleports itself to be close to you. This is the one time where just because of terrain, that isn't an option. Kind of silly to make a save there again, but I've always been a pretty enthusiastic save person. Just want to get my quick free heal. Let's see, we need to go start the Lone Wolf segment. It is kind of nice that at the very least I did find Mog before having to do this section, because that means that I can do these 2 checks at once, so they're slightly less out of the way. This is one of the more out of the way checks, really. Kefka and Narsh is the only default check that can have a character. Actually, I don't want to go this way. And so there are certain seeds where it is where your progression is. We know that either Mog's check or Kefka and Narsh has to have a character this time as well, but at least we get to do them together and we have 6. So Silas is behind the Yumaro check. That's another peekable check, and a little odd one, because you can only do it in World of Ruin, but you can only peek it in World of Balance. I'm kind of hoping they're both characters at this point so that I can get up to 9 characters for free. Okay, so this is going to be a character right here we're going to have to take so that we have progression. Yumaro. Ha! Well, now I can go get Silas. Oh, and he has an offering too. We're going to go grab that immediately. So, again, the Locke's weapon shop check, as well as the this check right here where you're forced to choose between 2 things. You can actually get the second one at a specific point. Luckily with Mogs you have no other requirements. First 4 conveniently. With Locks, it's in the Tritok room in the mines, not the place up here on the place, but the very first room you enter with Terra and find Tritok for the first time at the beginning of the game. But you need to get past the Welk fight for that, which is gated behind Terra. Now there's some nifty tricks you can do to slip your way past these guys. They called it the thing in the old speed runs. Now it's actually a little bit easier, I believe. I don't know how to do them. I've never bothered to learn. Okay, I learned Fire 2 from Level Up. That's natural magic. Oh, didn't reach him. You can also run away from these fights. They'd be a little bit faster, but again, I always like taking the fights for the money, experience, and magic points. Okay, that learned Bolt 3 on somebody, so... Just got over as Siren is the one who was that. Nice, easy kill there. Is this the Rider? This is the Rider battle and not that other one, I think. Oh well, let's just go through it. Oh yeah, that's right, he absorbs fire. Absorbs lightning. So fast. Okay. So he should have learned Bolt 2 by now. No, he didn't actually, huh? He's also learning Bolt 3 at the same time. Humaro, ironically. Only one person is. Fire 2, but we all have Murtons, so it doesn't matter. He'll die fast. No magic points from that, unfortunately. Palador Magicite, nice. So is that anything useful? Fire 3. Okay. So I'm getting a lot of pretty darn good and useful and necessary spells here towards the end. I'm going to have most everything I need. I don't have Golem or Fenrir, which is really, really good for easy escaping of the calmness on tier 3. One of the things you have to keep in mind when you're prepping for the final fight. But I do have life 3, so and pretty much everyone's learned life 3 now, I think, so we can cast it on ourselves once we're on tier 3. Alright, first thing we're going to do is go get that offering to turn Edgar into a absolute destroyer. Did we get that? Yes. Thought I did. Yeah, it was a default elixir. These are very out-of-the-way chests, and most people will tell you not to get them. One of the nice things about this, though, is that I have an excuse. I might as well grab them on the way up, as far as I'm concerned. I could save a few seconds by ignoring them, but you never know, might have something awesome in them. Genji armor, another behemoth suit would actually be pretty good for Zion, or for Strago. Got my offering. Ooh, elixir, nice. So instead of ribbon, we give you offering. In the final fight, I could throw more marble shoes or running shoes on you, and another ribbon. Then you get higher speed. I can swap out somebody's running shoes for the ribbon. Ribbons are not bad to have in the final fight because they make you immune to train, which otherwise can be really dangerous, especially if you're in a magic-focused group. And sometimes physical-focused group, if you're trying to do regular attacks with the Illumina. Being blinded will negate that. Another dragon. Again, hoping for dirt dragon. Blue dragon. Whatever. She doesn't have bolt 3 yet. But double bolt 2s will be fine. He doesn't have either, that's right. He hasn't learned it yet. Well, they'll kill it off with the bolt 3s. I'm just going to sit here and let it go. Doesn't matter. Naturally, like in any of these randomizers, knowing what bosses are weak to what or resistant to which elements, especially with negation and absorption, is a really big deal for... And a force shield. Okay. That's not great. Since I have to go through here, safety save is a little bit silly, but... yeah, we'll have learned everything from that. So Palador... his speed's already great. Let's give him more hit points, because I think he's got everything from there. Oh, you could... No, you just learned that. Alright, Doom... That gives her access to fire. Okay, so she's going to have all the important ones out of that. She doesn't have Reflect and Slow yet, but that doesn't really matter. I've already gotten Offering, so do I want to ignore the monster in a box? I think I do. I don't really want to give anybody else a second bear fixed dice. I don't think anyone can use it anyway. Ghost Train. Can't use Phoenix down on them. One of the default competitive settings disables the undead status of bosses, so yeah, of course. That is, you could say, slightly depressing, but not a big deal. Reason why I use Chainsaw, he has very, very high magic defense. Got 2 Fire 3s from Murder Child Realm. Murder Child's her common nickname because Realm is the highest magic power in the game. It's especially true in this seed where her magic power rolled higher than normal. She also has access to a lot of magic power boosting equipment. One of the reasons why I'm harping for a Magus Rod, but she gets like +6 magic from the behemoth suit she's wearing, 4 from the helm, and 3 from her cat hood gives 4 magic power, and her rainbow brush gives 3. I would get 4 more if I upgraded rainbow brush to a Magus Rod. So she's already in the 60s, and she doesn't even have a we haven't found any magic power boosting espers, which is something that if you get it early randomly can be of huge help. Now we already saw Sealess, so Sealess is going to come out of the cave. Naturally, there's no Sealess boss fight, so it'll be a random fight with one of the bosses. Rexol, okay. Slightly annoying, because, again, very high magic defense. He is mostly vulnerable to ice. Still probably quickest just to use the Ice 2s on him. Let's go ahead and use some Morph. It has a 1/4 chance of missing, but it's still going to be the most consistent damage we really can put out. Yeah, of course. Oh, I should be having him attack with fixed dice. Although it's would actually take a long time because with offering I can't target with it. It's one of the disadvantages to using offering in a situation like this. Every hit on the Soul Savers just wastes time, and man, is the RNG against me. Using Wake Tricking mostly to preserve my magic points of my Esper as much as possible. The good news is that since Edgar's been in the party the entire time, I've accumulated a lot of magic points, which makes that last a very long time. I'm probably not going to trade her out at this point, but let's see what Sealess has got. Steel and okay stats, although her magic power. Her speed's really good, her magic power is really low for her, only a 30, which is pretty meh. Let's see, now... I'm forgetting to put this on. Okay, back to Ice. And you do Thunder, because you already absorb Ice from the Snow Muffler, and so now... That'll gives him a slightly wider, although not to fire, but it is immune to wind and absorbs both lightning and ice, so a slightly better spread of elements. Okay, she's got everything important now. Seraphim I didn't even look at, so we'll just grab that for the moment. Okay, you don't have Doom yet. You're gonna fire 3 yet. Warpstone. Okay, I need 2 more Espers, and I need 1 character in order to get a Kefka Tower skip. So this is an option in the game, which is currently in the Ultros League settings. You can have some sort of... You can set the requirements for various kinds of quests and stuff. You can do certain events to give yourself bonus stats, or a status like Auto Haste, or a bonus item like an Illumina, or something crazy like that, or Experience Egg. There's all sorts of settings that can be customized, which are really amazing, but the basic one for competitive is that if you get either 9 characters or 12 espers, so if a seed happens to be extremely front-loaded with one of the 2 objective types, that gives you the opportunity to skip most of Kefka's tower, only 4's armor, another dead check. My word. Anyway, that will put you at slightly better chance of getting... At this point, I might as well just do the stupid Magitech factory. How much money have I got? I'm up to 53k. Let me see again if there's any... I didn't think I remember seeing anything really worth getting there, did I? Yeah. All this money and nothing to spend it on. I'll check Vector real soon. Vector will be one I haven't checked before in this seed. Now, if I'm really lucky, I'll get 2 espers and then a character from the... Although that would actually... for me, it would definitely be faster because I take too long with fighting enemies and such. Do a quick fight, get a free heal afterwards. Proto armor. The bolt 3 should definitely guaranteed one shot. Okay, unfortunately, nothing really. There's not a whole lot I'm looking for at this point. I have decent armor on most people. Edgar's the one who's really behind. I'd love to get him like Genji armor to give him some bonus magic power for when he's using spells. I should probably ignore most of the chests now, though, because really I am pretty darn up there in equipment. Although a couple of Magus rods for both Realm and Strago would be so nice to get. But you can waste a lot of time getting chests in here. I don't think I'm going to get any more of the out-of-the-way chests. I'm going to try and burn through this. We're already approaching 2 hours, and I'm doing fine. It would be nice to get 5 more magic for Strago and 4 more magic for Realm, but it's not strictly necessary. And it's a little bit more roundabout than I like to get those chests. Let's be bold and skip the saving. Baba, everything but lightning. Oh, bio especially, he's weak to bio. Just fight. Fortunately, Baba doesn't give any magic points, so... Now let's see how the rolls come in. Very weak, weak, very weak, decent. So those 4 rolls netted about 2,500 damage. Which would have been about what he would do with a bio anyway, though a little bit longer. This should finish him. He has a lot of hit points, he's a beefcake, but I'm doing a lot. Oh, not quite, huh? Well, if this does anything halfway decent like it's supposed to, that's one of the worst rolls I've ever had. See? That 1,000, 1,000, 7,000, 3,000. So in 2 rolls, total, 2 total attacks, one very bad and one very good, he did a total of 14k damage. 12k of it was right there. Nice Cure 2. Realm's Natural Magic is the only other healing we have, really. Another Aegis Shield. Another dead check! I am literally going to have to get a character from either the end of this or from the Opera House as well. Because at this point, I don't know, maybe I could have tried the auction house for the last 2 espers I need. Maybe that would have been the smarter, slightly quicker thing, but you never know with randomizers. Hey, Vanilla number 024. How hilarious. I don't know, I guess Murtani doesn't have any vulnerabilities at the start, so... Bad rolls, of course. I wasn't totally paying attention to them. One of them at least had to have been okay. I have almost, still have not quite, but almost hit the cap for... Okay, there's a Fire 3 and Bolt 2. I just like Carbuncle. Okay. Carbuncle has Bolt 2 and Bolt 3, hilariously. Which we've already gotten, so... We have everything now, let's see what we do. Let me check. Environment Palador. Okay, whoever has that. Last one I need to do. Let's bump you up on hit points. Even if this turns out to be my last Esper, I think that I'll go to Opera House because it would be required to have a character there. And it would be faster than going through Kefka's Tower. Probably ought to just use Warpstones to get away from these fights. Or the Warp Spell, because I think we have that. Oh well. More experience. Yeah, especially that much. 20k. Doom Spell. I think everybody's got Doom now. So I think I don't need to worry about Espers anymore, pretty much. Still life. Let's see if this one shots it. Not quite. I do have level 7 tech already. Probably should have run from this fight, it's not going to be worth the time. Since it took me 2 shots to kill it, it's only 7k experience. This is another check that's rather inefficient as well. Many players will forego it entirely. The third check of this, they hate the first 2 to begin with, but they're relatively quick. But they'll often gate out before the final check. If any players followed anything close to my path to get here, which is pretty close to required, even if they hadn't already gone for the auction house, they probably would have worked out at this point with only one thing left and either gone to auction house or Opera House to try and get the last required Esper, because it would have been quicker than doing this last section of checks. The battles plus 2 boss fights we're going to have to do. But I'll take the experience. and the certainty that I'm going to have to get a character here. Fenrir, so that's nice. Inferno, although he does absorb fire as his name would suggest, he's not weak to ice, he's actually weak to thunder, so I guess he's supposed to be a mechanical apparatus. So these Bolt 3s should make very short work of him. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get the absolutely guaranteed character at Opera House, so I can do the tower skip. That will be faster than it would for me to go through Kefka's tower anyway. Especially since it's such a short. At level 48, I am really, really strong. Which means I can actually make the final Kefka a little bit easier by properly spreading out the party. I could have been only a single dragon short of doing a full dragon seed at this rate. Mag rotors, not worth worrying about. Fastest to do this, I think. These are the slightly beefier ones, but my experience is good enough. I waste too much time on battles, as it is. Oh, 4 of the 5. Sometimes I can get by with only 3. A couple of these came close to getting out of my way and then just got into my way. Annoying start. Actually, GP rating. Hopefully those two kill him. Not quite. Okay, I've wasted time by using dice then. Oh well. Ought to make sure that our condemns don't run out. This is definitely killing him though. Boom, dead. And at the last gas balloon, Sabin. What does he got, by the way? Jump and natural magic. Hilarious. Okay, we got Kefka skip. Let's go ahead and restore all our mana and stuff one last time. This is as quick as doing anything else, including a tent. So it is nice that I'll be able to show off Kefka Tower Skip to show exactly what it means. It's a one-time use thing, so I tried to have used that once and it didn't work out well for me. Once you've used it, if you leave and then come back, you have to come in the front. Although it is possible to have multiple quests that give you Kefka Tower skips, and then you could do one, then go complete that quest and get another one, which would allow you to use only a single party to kill all the bosses. Safety saving because I'm neurotic like that. This is definitely one of the slowest seeds of this I've ever seen, and again, I'm not the fastest at it, but we'll see just how badly I did compared to everyone else when I'm done in my division, but... let's see, who am I looking at? These two need the most. This is fine. Let's go ahead and give him both of his items. Give her a Moogle Charm. Put her in back. Optimizer. Oh yeah, she gets the Minerva. Lucky her. Let's throw Fenrir on him. Yeah, it doesn't give access to anything great. Goddess. French vanilla goddess statue. Not surprised. Storm is fine, actually. Yes, actually, this group I can use Murton on, too. That's nice. Since I put the Rage Ring on Yumaro. Also, we're totally immune to her lightning, so this is absolutely perfect. Kind of glad I decided to do that now. That's going to kill her all over again, though. Because that is... oh, she's still alive. Amazing. Hahaha. I'm thinking Sealess will be an okay backup in case something goes wrong. Which it shouldn't. I have all the tools I need, but you never know. And I think that she will be the backup. No, actually, it'll be Sabin, so it doesn't matter. Okay, in which case, let's go ahead and empty both of them. No, I don't need to do that. Bit of a waste. Here's. Alright, Locke has Fenrir, which I'll need to use in the third tier. I might go ahead and throw on some, for safety as well. He already has the Moogle Charm on, excellent. Running shoes, that's what I want. just mimic Strago, probably. That's why I like sword tech. Even with a really weak physical attacker like Strago at this point in the game, I'm doing 8k with it. And even Strago, who's level 22, did 1600. Oh, that's bad. Especially since I don't have items. Okay, so Gogo's going to be dead, but that's fine. The other two will survive the ice. They both absorb it. Haha. Okay. Fight should kill him. If it's halfway decent. 2k, 3k, 5k, 6k, didn't finish him yet, huh? Immune, Strago's immune because of the thing. Oh, that's not good. Doomgaze is being such a horrid troll. Alright, Edgar did not get experience for that, which is not ideal, but also not the worst thing in the world. Another level or two isn't going to make that much difference, which is one of the reasons why I divided up my characters. Oftentimes, one of my habits that's kind of bad is I like to try and get my end party in a single segment for the final fight. Specifically so that they get the experience from the most fights. Thank you for doing it to Gogo. Worst possible thing she could do, of course. Such an annoying boss, but putting it on the worthless Gogo. Owie. Where are these horrible rolls coming from? Come on, where are my good rolls? There we go. A 5k. There we go. Okay, only one boss left. I had a lot of pretty easy bosses in the early game for the most part, things like Mage Master aside, which greatly increased my chances of seeing the more dangerous bosses here. I really don't care. I'm not going to waste time worrying about the what ifs. All I need to know is that Fenrir is on lock, and that is the only esper I have that's really... Oh wait, no, I'm totally wrong. Totally wrong. I want Siren on somebody. One of those two specifically, because she can't use it because she has the gem lock. So yes, okay, Siren. All right, Edgar has Siren, Locke has Fenrir. Those are the only ones we care about. Also, I've been running around without first putting on my Muggletron, which is a bit dangerous. Final boss, how difficult are you going to be for us? Poltergeist. Well, that means that I don't have great spells. Let's compare Ice 2 and Bolt 3. I actually have a spear, so you're do okay jump damage. Oh yeah, and you only have Cat. So yeah, again, both 2 of the 3 were actually statues, but yeah, Bolt 3 is going to be a lot better. Merton's going to kill Mog, I think. Yep. So this isn't going to be the best, but whatever. I say so. I say so. Oh, nice. Pearl Trigger will add a little bit of damage. Okay, Wave Cannon's kind of bad. No, not nearly as high damage as I thought it would be. Alright. Poltergeist down. Now the final Kefka fight. Ooh, don't want to use the Warpstone. That would be such a time waste. Okay, so Sabin is actually an okay. He has Ice 2 and Ice and Cure. So he would be an okay person to have suddenly join in the final fight if I absolutely need if something like horribly wrong. Yeah, I can see it. Oh, okay. Final fight, let's go! Okay, Locke, Edgar, Strago Rum. Okay, great start. Now we fire through the top head. Alright. 99 right off the bat. Dice working out for me. Wow. That was one of the fastest tier 1s I've ever seen. One try Doom, Fire 3 quickly killed that head, and okay. Edgar has Siren, so Edgar needs to go first. You get Siren off to mute magic, so magic can't use more than one spell. Hopefully it'll be something silly, like haste on a single enemy. Haste 2 is not good, so good, but oh well. Okay, here comes the mute. Alright. Should have used Murton actually instead of Fire 3. Speaking of which, yeah. That's going to be the end of Tiger Head real quick. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 of the 10 hit. Not a lot of damage either. He's not going to live for that, actually. Kind of unfortunate. We'll go ahead and start with that at the beginning of the next fight, though. She has a lot of magic power, so a couple of Cure 2s will put us all in no longer dangerous territory, at least. We're having that coming in anyway. We're reducing us all low. Okay, now the problem is I don't have a lot to deal with him on the side. Even though you're in back, this is kind of the best. Especially if I can get a trigger. Let's go ahead and hit 6. Oh, that's bad. I'm just gonna cast Life 3 on him and be done. Go ahead and heal everybody up again. Just to be safe. Most of my other hits are either random or elemental, so Stunner and attacking with Ragnarok and hoping for a proc is the best ways to take care of. Sleep, I think, is what that one... No, that one's called Girl, and Sleep is the other one. Again? Sheesh. That's why you need to get rid of Sleep as soon as possible. And again, the, okay, he's dead. I'm gonna just I'm going to let Locke die, and then, revive. Before I use my... Okay, so now we all have life 3 on, so extra protection once I get this off. Now we can just fight. Let's go ahead and get Fenrir queued up next. There's a chance I kill it with this roll of the dice. Less likely now. Out of mana. Excellent. We'll just elixir you. $9,000, awesome. 7,000. This might finish him off before he can do anything else. Condemned is going, or Calmness rather, is going to miss because we have Fenrir protection. We have a Mega Elixir for as soon as he hits us with Fallen One, and then we can start unloading on him. I'm going to have Locke do the honors because Locke is actually the lowest defense in this party. The lowest offense, I think, overall. Okay. Lay it on us. Fallen One, Mega Elixir, counter. Went to somewhere else instead. No, that's fine. Double cast in Murtons, they're the best for you. Sword Tech 7, probably the best. Oh, except I just took our things off, so that's no longer a good idea. What am I doing? Slightly outsmarted myself there. Been a bit since I was using Murton, and I started using shield strats because I didn't have it, but now... There we go, 6k. Yeah. There we go, 9k. Luckily we had the life 3s ready. Oh, Fire Rod. Not as good as the shield, but it'll do a couple thousand. And... Yep. Okay, so that was my run of Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Randomizer. Some of the trolliest luck you'll ever get. The fact that could have had it at 8-9 with literally nothing to check but the auction house. This is really absurd, the amount of times that you were forced to go to specific places for characters. Like, really genuinely insane, the amount of dead checks here. So this is not a typical run at all. This is incredibly crazy. But that's how randomizers are. Anyway, I'm not the best at this game. This is a really slow time. Probably other people in my bracket are doing this same seed in less than 2 hours. Which, easily. There'll probably be at least 2 who get less than 2 hours. Otherwise, it's Final Fantasy VI you know and love, but randomized, so all sorts of craziness there as you've seen, and it's a fun time. And for those who aren't watching for marathon's sake, but just watch my runs every week, hey, you got another crazy one. That's all for now for this. Until next time.